Okay, guys, first up, out of the blue corner, Gabi Maslanka.
Gabi Maslanka making her Arena Series 6 debut, 125-pound blue belt out of Marquez MMA with a 50% pull on Instagram.
And her opponent out of the red corner, Leticia Mohl.
Leticia Mohl, she is currently 1-0 on the Arena Series. She is a Gracie 717 blue belt and fighter, and she obviously has the other 50%. Fun fact, Leticia's 27, but Gabi is our youngest competitor tonight. She is 15 years old, Dan.
Anytime I see a professional grappler half my age, it really
makes you sad.
You say 15?
15.
Really makes me sad.
You know, the kids are the future, and I'm scared of it, honestly. Leticia being coached by Allison Ferrari, a purple belt out of Gracie 717.
Round one.
With Molly Zabrowski, who is also a purple belt.
Very interesting to see how these two young studs get after it tonight.
Both girls very aggressive. I think we're going to find both girls standing for a little bit here. I don't think we're going to see any guard pulling.
Well, Leticia is MMA fighter, and Gabi is out of one of the most notorious MMA gyms in the Northeast.
Absolutely. I love the head fakes. I love everything about this match. This is actually one of my favorite matches to watch tonight. I feel like we are going to see a lot of excitement. 125 pounds, but I'll tell you, they put every little bit into it. I'm sure they both feel each other's strength for sure.
Both very physical.
Absolutely. It's going to be. I think this is going to be a super physical match. I think we're going to see a lot of cage usage.
Yeah, some ugly jabbing, very quick jabbing to start the match.
Sure. Leticia in the red corner. She is the one wearing the shorts tonight, and Gabi Maslanka in the spats.
Yeah, Gabi trains with Marquez MMA and Team China.
Whoa!
Nice blow by Gabi, which puts her right into side.
Goes with what I was saying.
Comes right back up to her feet.
Incredible gyms.
She doesn't waste any time.
Excellent little scramble there early on.
Absolutely. She did a great job timing that as well. Leticia went to change her arm pace, and Gabi went right for it, which was great.
Gabi looks like she's got a little boxer in her the way she's flashing those jabs out there.
Yeah, for sure. I'll tell you, she doesn't look 15, that's for sure.
She does not fight like a 15-year-old, I'll tell you that.
She goes home at night, and she probably has to do math homework. Like, it just drives me nuts that that's a thing. But she can also kill you.
Oh, beautiful
nice
level
shot
change.
Attempt with the level change.
And good job with Leticia digging that whizzer to stop the takedown, sprawling the correct way.
Doing a very good job sprawling is Leticia, staying very heavy. She is not going to be easy to pick up
both
by
grapplers
any stretch.
utilizing the cage beautifully, both offensively and defensively. Gabi looking to tangle that leg,
hook.
And then she's going to look to peel her towards the cage, and Leticia's wise to it.
Leticia with a nice overhook on the left, though. I mean, it looks stronger than Gabi's underhook. You have to wonder who's got the better spot here.
Beautiful little battles happening right there. Oh, she's doing the same thing, and Leticia's wise to it.
Leticia's back off of it.
Beautiful adjustment out of Leticia there, not get caught in the same thing twice.
Not quite there, but she's close. She does have a seatbelt.
She's got a broomstick.
Maybe a broomstick. Very nice. So if she can take Gabi towards her right side shoulder, she might be able to get to the back from the broomstick.
And Gabi's going to do the exact opposite, try to shred Leticia's grips using the cage.
Very nice defense from Gabi. So now we've seen a very clear takedown from Gabi, and then we saw the defense from Leticia. So I wonder, will she go for it again?
I am not sure who is more knowledgeable in their cage use, but that could well be the deciding factor in this match.
That was a good setup. A lot of clinch work from Leticia. Both girls fighting for inside control here.
Leticia seems to be comfortable utilizing the cage in a defensive and a counter-offense way, whereas Gabi likes to be the one wrestling Leticia to the cage.
Well, Gabi trains.
And as soon as I say that, Leticia reverses position.
You know, knowing that they're both potential or actual fighters makes me want to turn this into an MMA match. Right? Arena's first MMA match, just go.
You can even tell by their stances, you know.
Absolutely.
They throw punches.
Yeah, they're moving their heads off the center line just in case a hand comes flying.
You never know. Just turn it into combat jiu-jitsu all of a sudden.
Gabi with a little slip there. It looks like the arena cage might be getting a little slick, which could change their ability to level change, wrestle, and cut angles.
For sure. We're going to be coming in on the last minute here. No submission attempts. Both girls primarily standing the entire match. Great
Leticia has a
defense from Leticia.
deep
Gabby gets the hands
underhook on the far side. She could transition that to a guillotine potentially, or just keep pulling Gabby. Yep, she transitioned to a front headlock here.
She's going to drop down and
It looks like it could be tight. Something like a high elbow guillotine.
I think she needs a
It's
right
tight.
elbow in a little bit more. Very nice
Defense down to
slippage.
Gabby.
Wow.
She got a posture high.
Is it hot here or is it just me? That
There's
was
some
great.
combat jiu-jitsu, a little smack.
Oh, she
Yep,
attempts
yep.
for that again, for that throw, but misses.
Yep, we got some collar ties that are very reminiscent of hooks right now.
For sure, for sure. A little bit of like touch in the head, jab in the head. I don't know.
Just letting them know
It's
that,
good
that this could be an MMA fight if they really wanted it.
Round 2, they're coming out hot. This is gonna be
stuff.
fun.
This is great. This is fun.
You're
I think
right,
we're
Kat.
gonna-
They might have to run this one back in a full mix setting.
Absolutely. This is a fun match for sure. Great styles, definitely clashing because they are very similar.
Gabby has a very lumbering presence to her, just constantly taking the center of the octagon.
Woo!
That's time, round 1.
That is time. I'm excited for round 2. No submissions in round 1.
Very impressed with Gabby's ability to control the center of the octagon against a very seasoned professional fighter. Lateesha is a mixed martial artist, a boxer, and a grappler, so no stranger to the combat sports.
Leticia's been around for a while too. She's been a blue belt since I was a blue belt, so she's been training hard and long. So I'm excited to see what round 2 brings for both girls.
Leticia's been a blue belt since Gabby was in elementary school.
Which, in fairness, was probably last year.
Jeez.
So, I don't know. I love it.
It's unfair how good these youth competitors are.
It is. At 15, I was definitely probably still picking my nose.
I was like 80 pounds.
Same.
And they're right back to it. Again, no guard pulling for this match. I am very excited
And no
about
one
this.
conceding a takedown either. They are
No, not
fighting
at all.
hard to stay up.
You're right, Dan. Gabby does a great job of controlling the cage. She definitely likes to be in control of where she is.
Forward march is Gabby here.
She's got great foot stance as well.
Leticia did have some success with what looked like a high elbow guillotine, but Gabby just postured out of it, which is very impressive for, again, a 15-year-old just using strength to get out of a guillotine like that. Super impressive.
Absolutely. And Lateisha will circle out. Very good IQ knowledge of where she is in the cage.
Not a lot of level changing looking to happen, so okay.
Ooh, possible back look suplex. Ooh. Oh, nice try for Lateisha. Keeping those hands connected though, very smart of her.
But Gabby's doing a good job of scrolling. And
Nice,
great chaining
Lateisha.
attacks
She'll be able to
there.
get Gabby to the ground, but she is quickly wrestling to the feet.
And Lateisha does have a hook in.
She definitely has to be careful coming up here because Lateisha does have a good look at back exposure. And I believe this is Leticia's last finish was a rear naked as well.
Gabby does have the cage helping her. It minimizes the threat of the back take.
Potential
see
second hook in.
Leticia's in
for
a
Lateisha.
weird position because of the cage.
Actually, I don't know if I saw that correctly. Did Gabby take Leticia's hook and put it in for Lateisha?
I'm not sure if she did, but she did. She was grabbing at the foot.
And now I think we're going to find that Lateisha is coming off center, and Gabby's going to be able to posture up out of this.
Gabby got the base back.
Oh, but there's a little turn from
can
Lateisha.
recover the back control. Wow.
Very nice recognition by both girls.
Just impressive maneuvering in tight spaces against the cage that was for Lateisha.
Absolutely, and I think that's where utilizing the cage at their home gyms training for this comes into play a lot.
Again, Leticia's on the back, but because of the cage, it really does jank up the position a little bit, make it hard to start attacking the rear naked.
For sure, but she might be
But
underneath
that's
the
not
neck
going to
here.
stop her from trying.
Gabby turning quickly, it might be tight. But we do see some head movements from Gabby, so I'd say that she probably
It's
is
out
not
now.
under the neck.
It looks like a scramble is about to ensue potentially here.
I'd imagine it's very hard to hold Gabby in place on the back. And I'm surprised Lateisha is not opting for a body triangle.
She might be looking to come up to a mounted type position. And and doesn't want to lock herself in, given the scrambly nature of this exchange.
Absolutely, but she's keeping great, like a backpack on Gabby's back.
Yep, she might be able to flatten her out here, or she might be able to just pull to the center of the octagon to eliminate the cage wall, messing up those rear naked attempts.
No holes barred here too. I might even consider pulling her back over her knees, which isn't the nicest thing to do, but it does get them back to where you need them.
Leticia might be looking to flatten Gabby out here.
She might be under the neck here. She does have a right arm look at it, but not quite. Nope, and she'll abandon it. Goes back to a seatbelt grip. Very smart for Leticia.
Gabby trying to build her base and hand fight here.
I think Gabby is considering, though, if she does step up, Leticia will be able to throw in that second hook. So she has to be very cautious of what she's doing from this turtle position.
Leticia just trying to make it ugly, make it uncomfortable.
Keeping very good back alignment. Leticia's got good use of her hips on top here.
And she does a good job of recovering her back control, even when she is a little high. So even though Leticia's high right now, there's a good chance she'll be able to hold on to this back control.
What surprises me is that she's able to keep, I think, double overs, Leticia is, and still maintain back control pretty well.
And there she threw her second hook in.
Digging in that second hook and that left arm underhook. That's very
And now
nice
this is a
position.
pretty good back position. This is the best look at back control that Leticia has had the whole time.
Yeah, absolutely. But Gabby is recognizing that and trying to bring her head to the mat between Leticia's head and the mat, and that is the proper defense if she could get her back to the mat.
Oh!
Very nice.
Great advice from her corner.
Absolutely beautiful.
Dead Orchard, potentially?
Oh, and she attempts to switch to an arm bar, but Gabby recognizes it.
Yeah. 40 seconds left. Gabby's looking to get aggressive.
Big moral victory for Gabby right there.
That
she
was
now looks
quick.
to get on the offensive of her own.
Gabby maybe looking for a darce over here with her right arm sinking in.
Leticia's doing a good job using her top knee there as a seatbelt and
For
keeping
sure.
Gabby
And
from
we are short on time,
passing.
so far I think we're going to be heading into round 3 with no submissions. Coming down to the final end here. Gabby trying to flatten Leticia out.
Gabby getting her first real good look at a dominant top position. And
Very
just as
nice
I say
switch from Leticia. Beautiful. And we'll head to round 3. No submissions so far. So if we can get one girl to submit, that's
Sudden
it.
death here.
I'm not sure who's winning.
Well, look, I think Leticia was definitely more dominant positionally in that round.
I think you're right about
but
that.
If we were going round for round in round 1, I would have given it to Gabby.
And Gabby started to have some real bright spots towards the end of round 2.
But it doesn't matter because this is submission only. So if you submit in round 3, you win.
We have no judges.
This is a great
We're
match.
just here. This is great. I love it. This is match 5, so we still have plenty of matches to go. I am super excited for what this night is bringing on.
I think this is easily the most contested match.
Round 3.
Absolutely. This is the perfect matchup. I'm so excited.
It's very, very probable whoever wins the war on the feet to start this round here is going to have.
Oh, and we got a guard jump from
guard
Gabi
jump.
Maslanka, taking the bottom.
Is that a sign that Gabby is getting tired and maybe doesn't want to wrestle?
You know, also with having someone on your back all last round, maybe she's thinking like, let's switch up the game. She couldn't get her down.
Very good point.
Maybe she'll showcase some bottom skills here.
Maybe Gabby saw something that she liked from off her back last round.
Absolutely.
She's looking to capitalize on that this round.
I think the big thing with fighters is a lot of them feel content to stay in the closed guard, though. So I'm sensing that Leticia probably doesn't feel a sense of danger
We'll
quite
see
yet.
if Leticia looks to work this to the cage or wants to take this kind of top side of full guard in the middle of the cage. Looks like Gabby's doing a good job of 2-on-1ing and pulling Leticia's arms across her center line. If I was Leticia, I'd probably be looking to move this to the cage to limit Gabby's
Absolutely,
options.
yep. Maybe both control both wrists and then bring it all the way over to the cage. Leticia does need to posture up, though, to get out of this position.
Well, Gabby's doing a great job of controlling Leticia's posture with those 2-on-1 grips, with that high guard she's running.
Yeah, for sure. You wonder if she's going to keep walking it up and look for like a double arm bar. Or
She
something along
continues
those
to run that
lines.
guard higher and higher, as you say it, Cap.
Her corner's calling for the armbar.
The thing is, though, like they're so slippery by round 3. I feel like double arm bars and dead orchards, they get so much harder when the nogi stuff gets slippery.
And again, when you get close to the cage, it's
A bump triangle there if she
she
sees it. They'll find themselves back. Looks like both girls were getting a little tired in this round.
I would say that it
We've
looks like
definitely
we're
slowed the pace down.
They're
Some
both
good show of respect on
content
both
to take a
ends.
quick breather and shake out the
Absolutely.
lactic acid in the forearms there. Leticia's digging her left arm back as she looks to break guard, which could cause her potential problems down the road if Gabi is willing to open her guard and re-guard in like a more triangle-y type position.
For sure. I think I would like to see Gabi do more setups from the closed guard.
There's Gabi
like
opening her guard.
A bump sweep.
And Leticia stands right out of it.
We're going to find Gabi on her feet.
This might be another one that is destined for an overtime.
Absolutely. I think she was like, all right, this isn't what I need anymore. I'm going to go back to standing here.
Gabi looking to control the center again. Leticia content to wrestle off of the cage.
Leticia does look so comfortable when she's on the cage, though.
Good level change out of Gabi.
Sprawls are pretty good. Very nice.
Good shot.
Shot, yeah, getting her right to her butt. That was a really good combo where Gabi like jumped, came up, and was like, nah, I'm good, and she just took her right down.
And she's in a position where she's looking to mount and then suck Leticia off the cage there.
It's hard to see where she's at, but she looks like she's in a good spot. She's holding her nice and tight against the cage.
She's right in the corner, her own corner too.
Yeah, that's a great advantage, right? Your ear, the corner is right in your pocket. You can hear everything happening.
Just such an awkward position.
Definitely.
And beautiful job for Leticia working back up out of it.
We're coming up on a little over a minute and a half, so I don't know. This might be our second overtime. We haven't seen any sub attempts in this round. We've got some throat posting by Gabi.
I have noticed the throat posting throughout the match.
Shooting for the double again.
And Leticia's looking for that guillotine.
guillotine.
I was wondering if she was going to look for that guillotine, but Gabi's starting to get around her back.
Absolutely. I think she's a little
Leticia
far
needs
to the
clear
side
that.
here.
Otherwise, that's going to put her in trouble.
Gabi has good arm connection. Nice and
Leticia
low.
squared back up, and the guillotine slipped.
Looks like Leticia's trying to pummel for control. Nice body lock takedown. That was
really
beautiful.
impressive.
And she'll find herself in full mount with grapevines. Can she finish in a minute? That was
Trip to the
absolutely
full
nice.
now. Okay, Gabi.
Very nice.
Gotta get active though. 60 seconds left before overtime. Someone needs to get us up.
Minimal time to submit her here, but she is in a great spot, so now she needs to start attacking those submissions.
Well, knowing that there's a very probable 10-minute overtime coming, is Gabi just looking to
make her tired?
slow cook her a little bit here?
Absolutely. Leticia's doing a great job of keeping her arms in tight. Oh, she's got to watch her back in the arms. Very nice though. She'll find herself in bottom half.
Leticia is very comfortable in this sort of open half guard here.
Absolutely. And Leticia's been training hard for this. I know that she's been working very consistently. I'm sure Gabi as well. So both girls showing great defense and offensive today.
I can't tell if Leticia's looking for maybe a leg entry or if Gabi has her arm pinned. I'm more inclined to believe that Gabi has Leticia's arm pinned.
We're coming up on the last little bit. We're definitely heading to overtime.
Yes, we are right there.
Very nice.
This is a great match so far.
Woo.
Going to overtime. 10 minutes.
That's another hard one. I'm curious to see if any of the plans change up or if they're both going to go right back to the feet again.
A 10-minute round after 15 minutes of grappling really can break a solid
For sure.
competitor.
And in that full 15 minutes, we really haven't seen a lot of looks at actual submission attempts. We had Lateesha on Gabi's back for a little bit, but we haven't seen much else from them. It's a very MMA-esque match for sure.
You're right, Kat. I have a feeling this comes down to a cardio tap or a draw.
Hopefully that's not the case on the draw, but we'll see.
Well, who looks more tired?
That's a good
hard to
point.
say. It's hard to say. They both look
They
game.
both look a little tired last round there.
Gabi looks so impressive. 15 minutes into a match as a 15-year-old, and
Absolutely.
she still looks as game as she was in the beginning of round one.
Just so poised, especially training with adults. She's probably acts way older than her age.
And again, just holding the center of the ring against a seasoned competitor like Lateesha.
Yeah, for sure. Her wrestling definitely paid off last round as well. I know Marquez MMA has some good wrestling classes, and you can tell she's definitely in them.
Gabi's posture is a little bit higher now, so I'm wondering if she's not as concerned with level changing. Lateesha loving those arm drags, and I think she even got some back exposure off an arm drag in that second round and third round, so she may be looking to go back to that.
It looks like her best takedowns tonight have come, Leticia's takedowns have come from the arm drag to the back. whereas Gabby's more, double unders on the front or as a blast double.
Oh yeah, level changing on the cage seems to be Gabby's preferred method here.
For sure.
Right
Very
back
nice
to
throw,
that.
but she does fall back down. You wonder if the cage is a little slippery too, because she went right down.
It looked a little slick the way Lateesha slid towards the barrier there.
Lateesha doing a good job of keeping her right knee in between though. She does have a half guard, but Gabby definitely in the dominant position here.
It's going to be hard for Gabby to come into something like a side control because the cage prevents it. So Leticia's the one with the space to kind of kick off and reset here.
Right, yep, absolutely.
I say that having not been competing for the last 15 minutes though, so sometimes it is a matter of what you have the energy to explode.
Absolutely,
in and out of.
I agree. Sometimes you just can't. But they both look like they're doing a great job of maintaining pace.
Leticia just has a lockdown on Gabby's leg there.
Gabby does have her flattened out now with a leg in, so she's still in half guard, but her shoulders are no longer, on one side. She's got both shoulders on the mat, so she's definitely
once Gabby
not
frees
in a good
that foot
position.
from the lockdown, she'll be able to start working to actually escape the entanglement.
The lockdown can be crippling, though. I've seen some knees go in the lockdown position.
Oh yeah.
And actually, the only way I think to get out of the lockdown is to try to make your leg longer to bring it in, because if you make it closer, it gets tighter. So it's hard to escape. I think you can see Gabby moving her right leg a little bit.
Yeah, lockdowns are it's a great stalling position just to slow the pace down and stop somebody passing.
And you wonder, if Leticia's not feeling, obviously she's not in a good sub spot. Is she waiting a little bit to see if she can get to a better spot?
I think it's just because her back is flat to the mat, so she's trying to build herself up onto a shoulder. And there she goes, turning back in if she can get the underhook, which she can't right now.
Yeah, Gabby's doing a great job of keeping a high right arm underhook. But
Leticia's fighting for it. She's fighting for it,
and
beautiful job by Lateesha there. Again, Leticia's really good with that top side knee shield there.
Absolutely. Her recognition of where her arms need to be are very important as well.
Gabby's in a good passing position, but I do think it's going to be hard for her to pass here.
I like the idea of using the guillotine to pass, and then if, for say, she does get able to pass, she would be able to finish it if she mounts and gets a good angle.
Absolutely.
But I'd imagine that pressure alone has got to be eating at Lateesha. And she's out. Very nice.
Gabby is still back
off for Gabby.
Straight ankle, perhaps.
Lateisha recognizes it, comes up, splits the legs. Very beautiful. Lateisha's cornered a back step, very smart.
Really nice.
And
really
she
nice.
comes up to
High
the top.
and looks for a
possible
Dars
for Lateisha. That's a nice.
That's
she is
tight.
in on a tight
Look at
Dars.
Lateisha.
And she had the
She tapped. Wow.
Very nice. Lateisha Mohl overtime Dars.
What
Lateisha Mohl gets it done in overtime with the Dars choke.
match.
That was a great match. Hey, but props to Gabby for going for the footlock and just giving it her all. I love that. That was great.
That is our early front runner for.
And your winner out of the red corner, Lateisha Mohl.
Good stuff. Very nice showcase from both
Great match,
ladies.
guys.
Amazing performance out of both ladies.
Fix it up. Do your thing. Lateisha Mohl, congratulations on the big win in overtime. A little bit tired?
A little bit, yeah.
And how was that match overall? It was really back and forth up until the end. You used your patience, came away with the Dars choke.
Yeah, I think my patience paid off in that match. She's super aggressive. That's one of the hardest matches I've ever had. So that takes nothing away from Gabby. She gave me really good work. I think the Dars is there. I've been working on it a lot with my teammate Peggy and Christian. So I'm glad I secured that win.
2-0 with Arena Grappling. You coming back and going 3-0?
Yeah, I'd love to. Absolutely.
All right, guys, our next match coming in out of the red corner with the mustache, George Travinsky.
Next into the arena cage, out of the red corner, we have gentleman George Travinsky, quickly becoming a fan favorite here in arena with his finely curated mustache and wonderful finishing instincts. George is 2-0 in arena with 4 submissions. He'll surely be looking to add to that total tonight.
And now out of the blue corner, Jonathan Pinghera.
And his opponent making his way into the arena cage out of the blue corner, an arena newcomer, Jonathan Pinghera. Competing out of Evolution Submission Grappling, Jonathan will look to derail an arena juggernaut here tonight. Our Instagram poll has Pinghera as a 21% chance to win and Travinsky at 79%. Very excited to see how this one plays out.
One of them's moving a lot, and one of them's not moving at all. I don't know who I'm more afraid of.
Two very different energies.
Absolutely. I think dark energy is what
George is a savage.
George is a savage. We've seen it here.
Yep.
He has 4 submissions in arena, and based on the look in his eye, he's looking to make it 6 here.
Yes, absolutely. Right to the pool for Jonathan with good butterflies. George staying nice and composed.
Oh, and
Jonathan has long legs.
Working on a triangle.
he's looking for a triangle very quickly.
But George could have a good look at a body lock pass.
Yeah, George fighting that triangle very
Well. Oh.
Jonathan looked like he was maybe trying to come up on a team, but George again back to that body lock pass to the weak side there.
Yeah, and he's got good arm connection, keeping it low.
Doing a good job using his knee to clear, or attempt to clear Jonathan's knee.
Oh, okay.
Ooh.
Buggy from the bottom. George is going to maybe hit that body lock. We are so close to getting him past that knee, and he is past the knee.
Don't buggy from this.
Woo. Do not buggy from there.
And oh no, George is
All the way to north-south
to
with
his
George.
north-south. He has a suffocating north-south. And now he looks like maybe he's sitting like a necktie almost. He has a front headlock,
You would have a good front headlock look here.
but he's keeping it like loose on the far side as if he's
Hard to see, yeah, for sure.
considering a necktie or just spinning in the back.
He could. He has great looks at both options. Jonathan staying composed in turtle though. Kind of like a little bit of a stalemate just to kind of see, I think, what George wants to do.
Hard to tell from here, but it
Picking
does
out
look
his
like-
options. I think he's going to be in on his neck. Oh, good escape from Jonathan. Keeps looking for like that nogi, what's it called?
Like a 10-finger choke type thing maybe, or like
The loop choke, but in nogi.
Right, yeah.
Sliding it through.
it's just hard from like a butterfly position.
Absolutely, yeah. And in nogi.
He's trying for that rubbery stuff here.
For sure, which is interesting. I wonder what they're teaching over there at Evolution.
It hurts my knees, too.
Robin and Brian Sheehan are watching. Because they got some good wrestlers in that school. That is a
Wow.
very nice setup.
Hard like this.
I think what George needs to do in this scenario is shoulder walk in, but I can't tell if is his right arm in or out.
It's hard to know what to do from those.
Oh, there's a good shoulder walk. He is in.
And George is walking to the cage here.
Anytime somebody throws a high guard at you, you have to shoulder walk to make yourself more raw. So he's doing a great job of utilizing the cage. Travinsky is.
And yeah, Jonathan's going to have to open his guard at some point, otherwise he's just going to stay stuck with a lot of pressure on his neck. And he's actually looking to higher. But even if he does get something like a rubber guard, that orchard type of down,
Oh, close to it.
Switch to a triangle.
it's going to be so hard.
The angle is going to be difficult.
As long as George keeps Jonathan's head
It's
in the cage, there's just not going to be a shot.
He could have a look at an armbar though. Even like I guess maybe extending his hips out, he could armbar.
It's just hard to extend your hip when someone George's size.
Keeping you
Right.
all the way up.
Looks like he's trying to
He has no angle.
no angle on it.
From this look, it seems. And he's
Looking
gonna
at a rock side.
switch the angle.
I'm wondering if he's got a Kimura look over there as well, since he's switching to the
He
wrong
is.
side.
It looks like he's digging for a Kimura. Just so hard.
Could use it to sweep if he gets that a look at the Kimura and comes on top. But that's definitely going to be a
This is
difficult angle.
the most success we've ever seen anyone have against George in the arena cage here. Just controlling his physicality.
Yeah. Oh!
Very nice, with just over a minute. Oh my goodness.
That's the first time George Travinsky's lost in here.
Wow. It looked like a triangle, but I couldn't tell from this
Triangle
angle.
lock, but I don't know.
Jonathan Pinghera gets the round 1 tap. Looked like a triangle. Couldn't quite see.
I'm not sure what the finishing mechanism was. I don't know if it was like one of those triangles where you punch
Wow.
in to finish it. And he was pinched against the cage.
Oh my goodness.
All right, guys. Round two. Ready?
Wow, after a great round 1, last minute finish
And
by Jonathan.
Jonathan going right back to the bottom here.
That was
George
great.
a little more hesitant to dive in this second round.
For sure. I think he needs to put a little more respect on Jonathan's high guard now, now that we've seen what he can do with it.
And we are seeing George playing a bit more tactically here in the second round.
Absolutely. I'd love to see him throw his legs up in time, like a Kimura or something along those lines, or even like a front headlock. Oh, a little slippery maybe?
I don't know if he was looking to sit back on a footlock and something happened, or if he just slipped.
Ooh, he could have a look at the arm saddle, but George, possibly a buggy on the bottom from Jonathan.
Don't buggy from here, kids.
So flexible from that.
He is
this
very
is
flexible.
Potentially tight buggy if he can lock that leg in there. This
He looks
is
like
actually
he is selling out on the buggy
super
here.
tight. This is super tight.
I feel like George is
And
tapping.
George
oh
taps.
my goodness. Woo! 58 seconds, round 2.
Jonathan Pinghera with the round
Buggy.
That was beautiful.
Excellent
And
performance.
very quick. He is a gamer.
Unique game out of Jonathan Pinghera.
Absolutely. Great guard. This is George's first loss. Oh my goodness.
And your winner with 2 submissions, Jonathan Pinghera. Great match, guys. Congratulations, Jonathan. You come in here, you beat an undefeated arena grappling veteran. How does it feel?
It feels great, man. Me and my teammates at Evolution have been putting in a lot of work. Getting ready for all sorts of matches, all types of rule sets. Just want to get out there and scrap.
Am I mistaken, or did you just hit a boogie choke in here?
Absolutely. First one in competition, too.
Do you work that a lot, or did you just see an opportunity?
No, not really, but it's one of those where it's like if they're going to leave their head tucked in that armpit, I'm going to shoot it up.
You have extremely flexible legs. Your guard was very impressive to watch. Is that your favorite position to be in?
I don't really mind the position at all. I mean, I wrestled for like 12 years before I ever started doing jiu-jitsu, so I can play anywhere.
Well, you're comfortable on your back for a wrestler. And want to know with arena grappling, you going to be back soon?
Absolutely, as soon as you'll have me.
Jonathan Pinghera, thank you very much and congratulations.
What's up? Ease up. Evolution submission grappling, baby.
Okay, guys, up now, Jonathan Lopez versus Jamar McGriff. Entering out of the red corner, Mr. Jamar McGriff.
All right, and entering the arena cage is Jamar McGriff. He is 1-0 in arena, and he is fighting out of Web MMA.
Opposite of Jamar, we have out of the blue corner, Jonathan Lopez.
And out of the blue corner, making his way to the arena cage, Jonathan Lopez, who is 2-1 in the Arenaverse with 4 submissions.
Ryan Stark
He is
and Josh
coming
Hammaker
out
are
of
on deck. Best of
302
luck, guys.
BJJ, and Instagram has
I don't wanna be in
Jonathan
there.
has a 58% chance to win the match here, with Jamar sitting at 42% according to our Instagram poll.
I love that Jonathan is sporting his old school archetype Droogs gear. He's in the blue corner.
He's an OG.
He's wearing no blue.
He's here from the Arena versus Series 1.
I like it. I like it a lot. Some good stuff.
And Jonathan go for I think he was in the hour-long match last time.
No, he definitely had some wild matches.
Jonathan is a certified dog.
Certified, that is. Fact check approved.
Dog.
His one loss in the arena verse is to yours truly, and he positionally dominated me for 13 minutes, and I got a lucky submission attempt.
It's true, I was there, I saw it. It's true. Their body types are very different.
Yeah,
this is gonna be a fun matchup.
Jonathan is small but mighty, and Jamar is very long for the weight class.
Absolutely. So what are we at? We're at the 155-pound bout. Match number 8 here at Arena Series 6.
I think the key to victory for Jamar is not to let Jonathan control you, because Jonathan, that's his game. He controls until he finds an opening. Jamar needs to put the pressure on early. Looks like he's trying.
And that's a really good point there, Jake, because I feel like every time we watch Jonathan, he comes out like he is just in your face, ready to go.
Throws his physicality around, but Jamar doing a good job of nullifying that for the time being. Look how
Jonathan
smooth
is not
Jonathan
amused. He just said, nope, we're good.
It is just hard to fluster him.
He's going to switch it up.
Jumping for a guillotine. I was on the wrong side of that in the arena cage once before, so I know how nasty Jonathan's guillotine can be.
Both very entertaining guys. Wondering what Jonathan's going for here with tight double overs.
Say it's going to be tough for Jonathan to jump a guillotine against such a tall opponent here.
Absolutely. The range of Jamar is it's so long.
And I interviewed both of these guys leading up to this match. The thing they both said, they just want to make it a show.
I like that. I think that's what we're here for. Arena Grappling is looking for submissions, entertainment, and making it fun.
Jonathan starting to get good position here, starting to turn the corner a little bit, starting to entangle the leg. It looks like he's going to try to pull Jamar off the cage here.
Jamar doing a good job using his left arm underhook though to counter that. I think Jonathan's too small for that. He's going to have to drop the level a little bit.
It's going to be too hard for him to get the guillotine from.
Absolutely. Jonathan needs his left elbow in the left pocket there, and his elbow is really high. They'll circle out.
Does a great job of staying composed on his feet. Very efficient with his motion and his energy expenditure.
For sure. I love to see when they head wrestle too.
That Jonathan went corner. They got some advice. They're loud.
Yes, for sure. They came with a game plan and they want to use it. A lot of cage wrestling. I really didn't think we were going to see that.
Loves clamping his hands
clinch
together in like a pseudo Muay Thai clinch. Very effective at whipping his opponents around by his head, which is just a technique you don't see that often in jiu-jitsu.
Jonathan looks like he's here in the match, but could actually be thinking of something completely different right now. Did he like just the way he looks? If he was thinking about what he's going to eat for dinner, I wouldn't be surprised.
He is very zen in the heat of combat, which is a sign of a true.
Oh, very nice
Good
turn
job
from Jamar to find top position here.
Good job by Jamar there.
Drag almost?
That was, I honestly don't even know what we would call that because that was great. I'd have to
He
rewatch
looks like
it.
he used some momentum of bumping Jonathan off the cage and then kind of whipped him with a single leg. But yeah, single leg jag's probably the right name for
Wrestling, I know it sometimes. Jonathan's in on a leg though.
Nice. Single leg. If he can get the weight off of that right leg, he'll get back. There it is. It's coming up.
If he can feed through to a backside 50-50 or
He's going to be in 50-50 here.
okay, choosing for 50-50.
Good defense.
He's got very good control. If he could just peel the other leg,
And they're both
he's going to
looking
have
to
great
shoot out.
heel exposure.
They're both looking to shoot out.
Ooh, that could be tight. We saw a little bit of a flinch here. But Jamar was not protecting his heel for a minute there, so I want to say this is pretty tight based on Jonathan's reactions.
It's tough to say. It looks like Jonathan's heel through and Jamar's on his elbow, so it's hard to break on his elbow like that.
Oh, he'll get a tap.
It was almost like an Aoki, maybe?
Very nice. It had to be some version of an Aoki because I don't think he had outside knee control.
Jonathan Lopez with the tap, a heel hook.
I didn't even see him get on that side to finish the heel hook. He was on.
I barely know jiu-jitsu.
Wow.
We couldn't see the legs were so tangled. We didn't know who he tapped.
Holy shit. I did not see that at all. It looked like Jamar had him. They were going to the right.
Okay,
Jiu-jitsu's hard. You guys are crazy.
Jonathan is up 1-0 with a heel hook.
That was a good finish.
The tables have turned.
Tables have turned.
A plot twist.
Jonathan just so calm on the feet. And he's got that collar tie.
Composed with looking for that collar tie nonstop.
He's looking to do that thing that he does where he interlocks his fingers together with that collar tie and then just creates a ton of whipping pressure on the neck.
He is more than content to keep him on the cage. Oh, but very nice fight back here from Jamar.
Job for Jonathan floating his hips and then turning that into his own offense.
I liked how he used that against Jamar when Jamar went for it.
He just let Jamar run him to the cage and floated his hips until he got to the cage and then sprung off it. Beautiful, and he's looking to the back.
Good turn getting to the back here.
So interestingly enough, they actually had the corners wrong last time. They were flip-flopped. So the corners switched, now we have red and blue correct.
Oh, I see.
That was the
okay.
confusion.
That is very confusing. Jonathan doing a good job staying tight to the back here.
So heavy on top.
A hook to potentially go in. Jamar definitely has to be careful. I mean, we're only in round 2. Yeah. Jonathan already has a submission.
And this is a tough position for Jamar. Oh, good job.
Very nice to recognize the throw over and getting the hook in from Jonathan. We got the left hook in, is it? Yeah. Wow. Seems like Jonathan came out very dominant in this second round here.
That really is Jonathan's MO. He likes to be the more physical grappler if he can.
He has a very nice hip clamp on the back as well with his right leg staying tight.
And he's got plenty of time to work, so no need to rush. And if his body language is any indication, he is more than comfortable being patient in this position.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm wondering, we can't see what his left arm is doing, but I'm wondering where it is located. It looks like he has the shoulder over the head as well.
It looks like Jonathan may be getting ready to abandon position and come up to a more mounted type position against the cage.
Jamar doing a good job using his legs. Brings it back over to the right side here, so Jonathan will have to come up. Oh, but Jamar turtled. I don't know if that was like the actual correct way.
He has a very elongated turtle too. He's not being super tight in his turtle, which has given Jonathan a lot of opportunities to weave his hands in wherever he prefers.
Absolutely. He really looks like he actually could throw his right hook in with how much space.
If he wants to.
Yeah, exactly, for sure.
Yeah, Jonathan has a lot of options here.
It seems like he has a very specific game plan in that he likes the hip clamp on the back here.
I know that Jonathan likes mean, kind of punch chokey, grindy type submissions. So I'll be wondering if he starts using the blade of his forearm to play the nose violin.
He did opt to switch to a body triangle though, so I'm wondering if he's going to start looking for those chokes.
He's so sideways on that body triangle.
I think he might be in on a choke.
I think you might be right there, Kat. You're right. I think you might be right.
He looked like he was in on something for a moment. Now his arms are free. Jonathan doing a really good job of going back and forth, peeling Jamar's hands here.
We can't tell how tight the choke is from here, but Jonathan definitely controlling
good
the
two-on-one
tempo.
control from Jonathan for sure. Absolutely.
Now we can see the necks a little better.
And it looks like Jonathan may be looking to come
maybe
up
a head
as
and
I suspected.
He does have a good look at a head and arm if he could get that arm across, but Jamar recognizes it, gets his right arm inside. Good defense from Jamar.
Jonathan training out of 302 BJJ after getting kicked out of his last 3 gyms for punch choking the white belts from Mount. So be interested to see if he utilizes.
I don't know if that's a fact or not. Is that a fact?
There's a chance that's a fact.
Wait,
We're looking to see if he looks to utilize some of those bully type tactics.
I love it. I love
this
it.
match.
If Jamar could work himself back to the left side so he stays centered, there we go, he'll come out. Very nice. Finds
Jonathan in an
closed
open guard, which I think is the right thing to do. He's going to close up for a little bit, but with Jamar's length, it's got to be hard maintaining a full guard, especially this late in the.
Jonathan is really throwing a lot of submissions up there too.
Jonathan's getting like an arm crush here. It looks like opening his guard, using the arm crush. He's looking for a sweep for it. Let's see if he can get it.
Good display of jiu-jitsu from Jonathan.
He's got a good option
really
for a bump sweep. He can sit back into a guillotine here. Jonathan has a good position going right here. We'll have to see what system he likes to work from here.
Jamar's corner calling for him to stand up. He should be posturing up. I do agree. He needs to really start working to get some length here. Especially he is long. He needs to be able to use that.
Completely agree there, Kat.
Just about time for the round. And round 3 next.
Very nice. No submission in round 2.
Round 3 coming up.
All right, a little bit more pressure is going to be put on for Jamar to finish here since Jonathan had that round 1 last minute finish by heel hook. So is he going to up the ante? I think we saw a little bit of separation in round 2 as well from Jonathan taking over more.
Jonathan
defensive a little bit.
Jonathan definitely solidified the dominant positions that round. It did feel like there was a real turning of the tides where it was very even until that heel hook, and now we're starting to see Jonathan pull away.
Yep, absolutely.
We'll have to see if Jamar can utilize his length a little bit and see if he can catch Jonathan to something here in round 3.
I am really impressed by all the grapplers and their defensive tactics as well tonight, though. Everyone I definitely think is leaving it, all out there, going for submissions, but the defense has been very high level.
All right, here comes round 3.
3.
Jonathan is champing at the bit to get back out there.
Curious to see what this is going to lead to. Again, if Jonathan either doesn't get nobody gets a submission, Jonathan would win by submission already. Jamar needs a submission to stay in this, or Jonathan could double submit. So do or die.
Surprised at Jonathan's ability to really dominate the collar ties, given the height difference.
Absolutely, yeah. His reach seems to be smaller, but he's able to actually utilize.
It seems like Jamar's so worried about level changing that he's fighting a lot shorter than he could otherwise.
Jonathan is very creative with his overhooks, which we've already seen a look at in this match.
Yeah, he collar ties in a way that's uniquely him, that I think gives a lot of other grapplers, myself included, fits.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we did see that one reverse takedown from Jamar, but then he countered that really well in round 2. So
Jonathan
looks like Jamar's trying to maybe do
wrestler.
something similar to what he did in round 1 with that left arm underhook, and both guys will separate out.
It's got to be tough to wrestle Jonathan from behind, given just how slow and patient he is on the feet. And he's got that leg entangled, and it looks like he's going to take it over. Beautiful
Nice
trip
right
there
over
with
his
Jonathan.
left shoulder.
And Jonathan from top positions is where he likes to live. So.
That was absolutely beautiful.
And this is why he
He's
got
already in
kicked
on the
out of
punch choke.
those 3 academies. Is right
A
here?
series, a punch choke series.
Jonathan, if you listen to this, I will buy your punch choke DVD if you decide to put that out.
Oh, good attempt at single leg X. Corner calling for him to get up.
Jonathan just staying frosty here.
He is not batting an eyelid.
He is a battle-tested veteran in the arena.
For sure, but so is Jamar. You know, he's 1-0 in this format as well, so no stranger to this cage.
Jonathan's just had so many grueling testing, overtime matches, back and forth matches.
We're seeing a change of game plan here from Jamar as well. He opts to pull seated guard. So maybe a look at a far side Kimura for Jamar.
He might be feeling desperation with 2.5 minutes left. Going to start throwing some of his favorite submissions up.
Yep, just forced an engagement down on the ground here because the standing battle's been largely unproductive, and Jonathan's been utilizing the cage a little bit better this match.
He is so tall too, so you would think his guard's going to be very good at being lanky, but Jonathan with that forward pressure, you know,
he's so strong.
What do you do to stop it? He is so strong.
Pressing against the cage, using his head position, really just bullying his way to the cage here.
For sure. We're seeing a lot of body lock connections tonight.
Yep, and
it's definitely something very common
passing
now.
to the weak side in a very tight position here. It's going to be very hard for the lankier grappler to get some offense going here.
Oh, but Jamar is able to regard. It looks like he has a Kimura on the
He's
far
on the
side.
If he rolls
He
it,
reverses the position, and he's on top.
And Jonathan
but
right back to the
puts
wrestle.
him right back to his butt.
wow.
Oh, that was a good attempt by
What
Jamar.
an explosive sequence out of both guys.
Very nice, very nice counter.
That's got to be demoralizing.
Absolutely, for sure.
The difference in some of those
Jonathan
positions
using the cage, walking to it.
really seems to be Jonathan's ability to just scramble until the scramble is over.
For sure, he seems like he is now becoming the more aggressive side, the stronger side, but
Great cage awareness by Jonathan, great head positioning.
props to Jamar though. His defense looks good. He's staying tight. He's using his hips.
Jamar's going to have to open up and actually give Jonathan a look at a submission to create some motion here, because Jonathan will be content to throw those grapevines in and hang out here till the end of the
Absolutely,
match.
yeah. There's no rush on Jonathan's end in this full mount position, and we're going to be coming up on the last minute.
Again, Jonathan has a very uniquely him game, and from this mounted position, his punch choking game is wildly disorienting and suffocating.
Absolutely.
And you can see it really makes people spend a lot more energy from the bottom side of full mount than they would like to.
Is there a difference between a punch choke and an Ezekiel choke?
It's like a front Ezekiel, but there's no gi.
Okay, Ezekiel's with the gi.
Right, so he's using his fist as if it was like a punch and punching that neck as opposed to using the gi for the choke.
Sense.
The Ezekiel comes farther across as well, where the punch choke just is on one side. I think Jamar's corner can feel that we are coming close to time here, so he has to give everything, not only to escape, but to finish.
Got to go for broke.
You do, and you're stuck on the bottom.
And it's tough. Like, going for broke from this position might mean giving your back to create motion.
Right. I think we're just going to come up a little short on time. Jonathan's in on another choke attempt.
His feet are
able to
locked.
free.
He's so suffocating on top.
It does take 5 seconds. to
Jamar
submit,
attacking the leg?
Do we have some connection there?
Flying triangle?
Let's see if Jamar can jump
Throw
something
it.
as time starts to wind down here.
That'll do it.
And
Very
that's
good
the match.
job.
Excellent match.
By both guys. Jonathan Lopez with the win out of 302 BJJ.
And Jonathan moves to 3-1 in arena with 5 submissions, climbing
Wow.
the leaderboard behind only Zach Radigan and tied for second with CJ Bernheimer.
And your winner with 1 submission out of the blue corner, Jonathan Lopez. Guys, Ryan Stark and Josh Hamaker are up next. Oh. Jonathan Lopez, great to see you again. Good to talk to you again.
You too, brother.
How are you feeling after that one?
Good. Very tired. He's very strong.
Well, we were saying how strong you were at the commentary table. I mean, you're controlling, using your strength, even being the smaller man in height, you were controlling the clinch. Is that something you take a lot of pride in, your strength?
A little bit. I try not to use it. You know, I try to use jiu-jitsu instead of strength, but you know, I had to do what I had to do. He was a little bit stronger, so props off to him.
And you didn't have to go to overtime this time. You got it done inside of regulation.
Yes.
You happy about that one?
Yeah. I don't think anybody wants to see overtime.
And I believe you're now 3-1 with Arena Grappling. So
I believe so, yes.
Are we going to see you back here soon?
If they want me here, yes, I'll be coming back.
We want you here, dude. Congratulations. Jonathan Lopez, ladies and gentlemen.
302 BJJ.
Out of the blue corner, Kyle Hannigan.
Into the arena cage steps Kyle Hannigan, debut arena grappler out of Grindhouse MMA at the 165-pound purple belt division, cornered by Sean Stefanelli. Instagram has this one at a 50-50 coin flip. And now into the cage walks Kris Frank, who is undefeated, 1-0
Best of luck, gentlemen.
in the arena format, training out of Webb. He is also a purple belt, and again, a coin flip matchup. So Instagram has this as Key Buddies match.
This is our first one right at 50-50, so this is going to be pretty exciting.
This is our first true coin flip.
Do you guys remember Kris Frank's match last time in Arena 5?
No, can you tell us? Because I feel like you do.
Wells, it was an MMA match.
Yes,
almost.
it was the
Yes.
Frank v. I remember
Very
that one.
excited.
Was it
to see
long?
Kris Frank's. It went long into
went long,
overtime.
yep.
And they were just pummeling against the cage, pounding each other to the mat. It was awesome.
All right, well, it looks like these guys are going to be kind of similar in that same thought.
Well, if Hannigan's out of Grindhouse, that is a serious
Yes.
MMA school.
Absolutely.
He will be no stranger to the cage.
As is Webb, so this is going to be exciting. Right up for cage wrestling. I love it.
Yeah, Webb's MMA, I'm in there pretty frequently just getting some good content for the gym. Amazing atmosphere. These guys are incredibly talented and trained with extreme ferocity.
Absolutely. A lot of credit to Jonathan Webb.
Frank's got the good position, a nice high underhook, and good head position.
Looking to search, I think, for maybe a high leg single here is Kris Frank, and he's got it. He's got it. Almost a dump. Almost a dump.
Great pseudo dump there. He's got a front headlock, and that's a tight front headlock.
He's on a good
that's
angle.
tight,
This
and
is
there's
tight.
nowhere to
I
escape
think we're
from.
getting there. Trying to escape,
Good
though, and
job
doing the
trying to
right
escape.
attempt at escaping here.
Turning and falling relieved the pressure. That was a good job by Hannigan there.
Kyle's got a neck. I would have tapped.
I also definitely would have tapped. That looked very tight.
I wouldn't have, but I would have paid for it the next day. Or gone to sleep. Either way,
Going to
this
sleep
still
is
looks
always an option.
very, very tight.
He is. The thing is, are his hands going to get tired with
Frank
Frank
is
in
staying
round
on
one?
it. He has been
I hear the
hunting
heavy breathing.
this guillotine for the better part of 30 seconds now.
I do think Kyle has an angle to breathe, though, and Kris Frank just recognized that and also let it go. But hey, good looks on that very beginning. That was definitely tight at some point.
Is Hannigan breathing out of his mouth or somewhere else? Because that was a very long guillotine attempt, and that looked tight the whole time.
He had his thumb up the whole time. He was okay. I don't understand.
That is wild.
I do expect this match to spend a lot of time up against the cage, though. That's Kris Frank's style, and he is in control so far.
And he's doing a great job of keeping those double unders.
Hannigan surviving the early storm, though. Again, a 15-minute format. Hunting for submissions so hard, so early, could come back to bite you deeper in the match.
Kris Frank gets right out of the closed guard, and he's back on the neck.
Hannigan looking for that far side
Possibly
underhook.
a Darce, maybe?
But again, I think he's scared of the Dars.
It is going to be
And
difficult to find the
front
angle, I feel like,
headlocks.
all the way up against that cage. But the Darce is definitely an option.
Kris Frank, very good at being dangerous and hunting submissions in very tight spaces.
Oh, I think that neck's going to pop, though. Oh, yeah, it's out.
Hannigan working his way
Kyle
back to
finding
his
himself,
feet.
yeah, oh my goodness. And he circles out. Very nice defense by Kyle.
Kyle's got heart.
He is, and you can't really teach that, so. Ooh, and he is falling all over. I love it. Kris Frank with the snap downs.
Kris Frank snap downs and wrestling are
Very
excellent.
good wrestling chains.
That first guillotine was in so tight. The fact that Kyle didn't tap is incredible.
He came to game. He came to game. Kris Frank making great connections between the legs and the front headlocks. I love seeing him go lower, then attack the upper body.
Hannigan doing a beautiful job of using the cage to survive this wrestling onslaught.
For sure. He'll find himself back on his butt, though. Great takedown by Kris
Frank on the
Frank.
second and third efforts getting these takedowns.
Ooh, but Kyle, look at that.
the
Possibly
elbow's
a choke
high.
guillotine on his own. The elbow is definitely high.
And
His head's out.
He'll
his
pop.
head's out
And he's
now. And then
right back
to
on
the
his own
guillotine.
This is a fight of the guillotines.
These are my kind of guys.
I think one time when we saw two guillotines at the same time, that was the best part. But he looked like he'll abandon it and look to take, hopefully, the back for Kris Frank.
Okay, he is getting the bag. Now he's up against the cage, so it's hard to get like a real true back mount. But
what I like seeing is though how he's keeping his legs on the outside and tight to the hips for Chris Frank.
Yeah, gives him some options.
Very smart.
Of transitions.
Ooh,
Hannigan might
nice
be
transition.
looking to spin back in here.
For Chris Frank. But does he have a triangle? Is there one arm in? It's hard to see from this angle. He looks like he's trying to get to a triangle.
Hannigan walking the cage.
Great job of walking the cage. Good defense from Kyle Hannigan. Very impressive. Wow, this round has gone really fast.
Frank is now locking in a topside body triangle. We can't see the neck exposure, but it looks like it's starting to come.
And those backside, those body triangles, they really eat at your ribs. Oh my goodness, they are painful. It's like a boa constrictor every time you squeeze.
The only thing maybe saving Hannigan right now is that Frank had that minute-long guillotine early on, so it may be tough to get that final squeeze that he needs.
Absolutely.
Hunting for this rear naked.
He's got to be a little tired though. That was a lot of submission attempts, a lot of wrestling. So I'm thinking Chris Frank right now should be in a dominant spot to hold. For
Short legs with a tight body triangle. It's tough to get out of that.
Absolutely.
Again, hunting for that neck exposure.
10 seconds.
Doing a great job of keeping back control is Chris Frank. It is impressive.
Hannigan comfortable in deep water. Yeah. You can tell he is a seasoned grappler. Excellent.
Very nice. No submissions for round one. That was a high-paced match.
Wild pace out of Chris Frank. We'll see if he can commit to those second and third efforts on the takedowns.
For sure. But good defense for Kyle, you know. I wonder if he'll be able to come back if Chris Frank's arms are tired from all the guillotine attempts.
Kyle was cool as the other side of the pillow on some very tight guillotine attempts.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Kyle needs to get on the offensive. That's what needs to happen. He played defense almost the entire first match.
Sometimes it's hard when you get caught in someone else's offensive cycles to really turn the corner here. But that's what's great about Arena. You get a fresh start. You get 3 chances.
Round 2.
Who knows, maybe even more if we go to overtime, which thankfully we haven't seen yet.
I know, what's with that?
Let's not jinx it. We'll not jinx it. Slap bump, here we go. Right back to those collar ties.
They're both tying up. Hannigan not running from the open space wrestling.
Chris Frank does a great job of snapping down, though. We've seen a lot of snap downs where Kyle's getting his hands to the mat from those snap downs.
Frank's doing a great job of hand fighting.
Wow. Right back to that high single.
Just chain wrestling by Chris Frank.
His high crotch is great. That sounds funny, but it is great.
It's a great high crotch.
Hannigan comfortable wrestling defensively off the cage. You can just tell those grindhouse guys really do feel.
Oh my goodness, what a dump for Chris Frank.
Oh, but Hannigan on a Kimura potentially. Frank's arm is deep and he's out of it.
And Webb does have a cage, don't they?
Yes,
right?
They have a cage wall and an actual cage as well.
So he's definitely been able to just grindhouse, do you know?
I've never been in grindhouse.
Okay. So Chris Frank definitely able to train for the cage.
And Frank looks like he may be on Hannigan's far side arm.
Yeah, I'd like to see Chris Frank's attempts at setting up more of these darces. He's giving him some looks here.
I think he's looking for that scrunched up guillotine up the.
A bolo from Chris Frank. He's a bolo wrestler. Wow, nice combo.
Wrestler.
He finds the back. Very nice connection.
That was pretty.
That was some good stuff. Okay,
and
Chris Frank.
he's looking to lock in that rear naked. It's under the nose, but not under the neck.
But hey, anything under the nose is under the neck.
Is the neck.
We haven't seen any smother action, which brings me to it. Hopefully we'll see that in the near future.
Now Frank is not looking to lock in that body triangle this time. Never mind.
Change that.
But it is to the downside.
What's interesting is he doesn't feel uncomfortable keeping his body triangle on the downside. So my thought is that his legs are very flexible.
Does having extra short legs help?
I don't know. I have to say, though, I feel very comfortable with the body lock on my triangle on the wrong side.
Okay.
So it could be. Maybe he just has very flexible calves. I don't know.
Frank, they say you want to have your triangle on top side.
Because you could, if you have like problematic calves or ankles, you actually could get submitted there if somebody does go back and like push your leg back. I've seen it happen before, but I think at higher levels you don't see it as often.
Right.
It's the same thing with it. You're not supposed to cross your legs when you're on the back mount as well, because there's a simple straight foot lock there. Great back control from Chris Frank.
Hannigan is taking into a more neutral position where he is making Frank kind of carry him in an unathletic position where both of his shoulders are on the mat, so that will limit Frank's ability to finish this rear naked.
Absolutely. Building the hips up is always so helpful when you're looking for an escape. And Kyle's doing a great job of keeping himself in this game.
And again, starting to walk towards the wall to try to use the cage for some defensive options. Walking his feet high.
The other thing is, Chris Frank is throwing his A game out here, and it has to be a little daunting when you're not getting those finishes.
That neck crank,
he's
rear
in
naked
again.
Is very uncomfortable. Hannigan doing the right thing.
Peel
of
the
peeling
back arm,
top
but he
hand.
goes to a short choke. Very nice transition for Chris Frank.
But it looks like he is popping that elbow up. It's uncomfortable, but he's surviving.
Kyle knows all the defenses, which I can appreciate. That was a very good understanding of how to defend a rear naked choke from Kyle.
Hannigan may only be a purple belt, but he has some black belt level defense.
That's step one, right? Fight the hands?
Fight the hands, peel the back hands, because that's the hand that's holding everything in. There's the smother. I love a smother. Do it.
Oh, is it jumping over for an armbar maybe?
Possible
Oh, now
armbar
Hannigan's on
transfer.
top. If he can stuff the armbar and walk to the cage,
And he
potentially he
did.
can find himself in a top position.
He needs to posture up in the closed guard, though. I could imagine he's tired, but he needs to posture
This
up
is
for
Hannigan's
sure.
first time being in a topside position for a sustained amount of time, and even if it's inside a full guard, that is a changing of the pace.
Absolutely. But actually, Chris Frank looks very comfortable on the bottom.
He hasn't been there yet, but he looks good.
Yeah, he's showing good positions in every spot, which I can appreciate.
Hannigan passing to the wrong side here, or the weak side, I should say.
Oh, nice entrance by Chris Frank. He's going to be a little
Fighting
shallow
out
on the knee.
line, and he won't keep the entanglement.
Chris Frank's corner calling for him to come up on the top. I think that was a smart decision. He's obviously winning the top position battle, so good call from Steve Joachim for coming up.
A wrestler who can bolo and leg lock is quite the puzzle to solve.
Absolutely, very nice. Good connection between systems, that's for sure. But we are coming up on the last minute, so I think we might be coming in on the overtime, round 3, excuse me.
Sudden death, though, nonetheless. It's
sudden death,
right?
though.
It is. One and you're done.
Oh, we have a very good look at an
Oh,
R and
time. Oh, my goodness. Into round 3 we go. Deep waters.
Round
a little
3
bit
coming up.
unfortunate the timing of that submission attempt there, because that was a good look at an armbar right as the round ended.
Man, but he's had a lot of good looks at everything, and he hasn't finished yet. So, I don't know. Do you think Kyle will be able to come back and get a submission of his own, just take the win here?
He's got to come out aggressive with something.
He's got to come out aggressive with something new.
Absolutely.
We'll have to see. Hannigan is a tough kill in there, though. Frank has thrown the kitchen sink and more at him.
For sure.
Still, Kyle Hannigan feels
If I'm Hannigan, I think I would pull quickly or jump, because I do not want to get wrestled. That is for darn sure.
I like the fact that Hannigan is out there and wrestling in open space, knowing that he's a little bit outgunned. He's still not giving an inch.
Absolutely. Chris Frank right to the double clinch inside. I love the fakes. And he'll put Kyle right up against the cage.
Kyle seems to be more comfortable utilizing the cage from a defensive standpoint when wrestling, and I do think that is the right play, because Frank is a
But nice
monster
throw by
in the open
Chris
space.
Frank right to the back. No hooks quite yet.
Another interesting thing here is we've never seen Kyle in arena, and we've seen Chris Frank in arena go for 50 minutes, so we know his cardio is there.
It's definitely there. He doesn't look like he's slowed at all, that's for sure.
Sweaty, but not slow.
Sweaty but not. That should be a t-shirt. I think that's good. I'd buy it.
A new Webb's t-shirt.
Yeah, Frank's output is incredibly high, and he's probably coming up on 10 plus good submission attempts.
Very good chain of submissions. Just needs a little bit more to finish, I think, and we're getting closer each time. Doing a great job of controlling the double unders, Chris Frank is.
He just has an exhausting pace.
His back control is absolutely beautiful, which means that Kyle is doing a great job of defending.
Living inside that body triangle for 2 rounds just has to be taxing.
Absolutely, and he's going to be there right again. Chris Frank in the rear naked, but again, Kyle doing a great job of defending.
Kyle don't tap. No way.
He'll die first.
And if he can get out of this, and turn into the cage again, maybe he'll find himself in a
Is he
top
thinking
position.
about tapping? I don't know.
I think he might be
He's going back
Getting
and forth.
purple, but he's
oh, wow. Very nice.
It's in again.
Kris just doesn't stop attacking.
Kris just doesn't
you don't
stop
get a second
attacking.
degree.
You don't
Kris
get a
gives a
second.
little laugh there. All good fun. I love it.
Yeah, they're having a good
Right back in on the neck.
With so many submission attempts, there's got to be a lot of
absolutely.
blood flowing into Kris Frank's arms right
That's
now.
the great thing about Arena because all Kyle has to do is flip it around and get one submission. And all
He could take the whole win.
right,
Absolutely.
right.
We have yet to see him
Back on the
offensive,
front
though.
headlock.
The chain of technique from Kris Frank, where he is able to just put all the submissions together, has been astounding.
Kris Frank's strong too.
He looks strong. He looks strong. What is this? Our match is at 165 today.
165.
Stocky boy.
He doesn't look. He doesn't look like a pound under 180.
No, definitely not. Definitely not.
Let's see if he goes for that. It looks like he's going for back control. He was committing so much to that scrunched up guillotine off the cage. I was thinking maybe he would go back to that.
His game, even from the last arena that we saw Kris Frank in, looks so proficient today. But it's got to be very frustrating not being able to get any of those finishes quite yet.
For sure.
He's back on the same rear naked, but again, he's not under the neck.
He's got to be
Kyle
thinking, what
definitely
does he got to
recognizes
do?
it. Right, like how do you finish this guy?
Looks like he may be coming up for an arm here. He's looking for some arm
There is a good
isolation.
shoulder crank on that side too, if he could find it, but he'll have to go back to the back. With
Now
a
it looks
hip
like he's a
clamp.
twister hook in.
He does. Still looking for some
Still
rear
trying
naked
to
control
finish the
here.
rear naked.
Kyle does a really good job of turning his face to the left so that he's not quite able to get under the neck.
Just enough to buy himself one breath when he needs it.
Absolutely. It looks tight every time, but he is still hand peeling. And I'd imagine Kris' arms are getting a little tired.
They have to be getting tired with all the chokes he's
Oh my
attempted to this
goodness.
point.
There's definitely a chance we could see overtime here.
We're a minute away.
I don't
was
see
amazing.
Hannigan getting finished inside regulation. I just don't.
I don't either. You hear some light coughing though. Is he breathing
Sounds
okay?
like someone's clearing their throat. Maybe they got someone clearing their throat. I think it was Kris.
It's sweat.
Every so
Sweat.
often, it looks like Frank decides that he's going to give up on that choke and go to an arm bar. I can't decide if he's going to actually get frustrated enough to commit to.
Oh, the smother action.
Oh,
Let
the
his
smother-
left arm go underneath
smother
again.
Expose the neck.
Very nice combination usage of the smother to the left arm underneath.
Even though he's not entirely under the neck, and I think he now sees a path forward to getting under the neck using that smother,
For sure.
pulling that nose up.
Kyle doing a great job of turning, defending with his hands. Coming up on the last 30 seconds here. Still think we're going to see an overtime.
I'm pretty confident we're going to see overtime at this point.
And that is going to be something interesting if Kyle's able to work himself back in that spot.
Arena's first 10-minute overtime. 10-minute
Yes, that it will be very exciting. For sure.
Never say die. Kyle Hannigan is going to take this to overtime. Oh, this might be a tight
We're
rear
in
naked
on
end.
another
This
rear
might be a tight.
naked.
This looks tight.
But we're coming in the last
That
couple
secondary
seconds
hand is-
here. Oh, and he's back out of that.
I thought he had it when his secondary
That was
hand went entirely
beautiful
behind the neck.
defense. And time.
We are heading to overtime.
Very nice. From both parties, good defensiveness. You got to give it to Kyle for not getting finished there.
Just a reminder, we have a 10-minute overtime. If there are no submissions, we have a draw.
Hannigan not breathing too hard, being 15 minutes in here.
Yeah, for everything he's been given, he looks okay.
And you know, sometimes when you are on the wrong side of someone's offensive cycle, the only thing to do is to do some breathing exercises and survive the positions. So
Right.
there's a real good chance that Hannigan might find his second burst here when he needs it in overtime.
So Arena has recently changed up their rule set, so it's 10 minutes overtime or a draw. And personally, the draw does get me a little bit because one side is so much more dominant, but I guess it is submission only. That's the format, and that's what we're going for.
I mean, to beat Kris Frank, with just a draw, that would have to be very disappointing.
Absolutely.
I would say so.
I would
So
agree.
much control time.
I've been in those scenarios on both sides before, and I feel like you just remember those matches because you're like, whoa, I was crushing it, but not enough. So,
Frank with good head position. Really
again, a lot of cage wrestling.
putting Hannigan in a very upright position against the cage here.
Good battles for inside control. Oh, a good reverse from Kyle.
Frank Frank's snap downs and fighting for hand control is just so good. But I will say that Hannigan is starting to get his hands on Frank's wrists.
Absolutely.
In this final round here.
But Frank connecting his arms, and he's gonna big hit double there. Right to the back, right to the back. Very nice.
He doesn't have his hooks in.
Frank does a great job of controlling. You know, part of me wonders though if he wants to put his hooks in right away. This is a system that we use here.
You're right about that, Kat.
And so I actually think it's probably in his plan. He's right back to the back.
And he's got that body triangle again locked into the downside, which is something that he feels comfortable with.
Yeah, for sure. I'm wondering if we'll see more of the smother in this round, because the last time he did it, he was able to get underneath the neck on the left side.
I guarantee you that he's thinking about that enchilada and pull that nose up and rip that rear naked right underneath.
For sure, absolutely. I wish we could see what was happening on this side. Oh, and they heard us and brought it over this way. I love it.
I wonder if Chris Frank will sell out for that arm bar from the back there, because he has been looking at it a couple times, and you can only try to choke someone so many times before you got to look for a new path forward.
So if you guys don't know how to get to a weak side armbar, he has to go to the underhook side to do it. And he's been staying primarily on his top side arm, on his right arm. But Chris Frank does a really good job of switching choke side to side.
He's definitely ambidextrous with the rear naked, which is not something you see everyone proficient at.
For sure. And his corner's calling for a short choke to adjust, which he's been doing. He's doing a great job of rear naked, switching it up, and short choking.
I imagine it is very hard to defend Chris Frank when he is on your back, which is just a credit to Hannigan's performance thus far.
Absolutely. Chris looks like he has drilled a lot of back control though, because he has very complex leg pummeling in and out of the guard.
You're right about that.
I mean, you look at the people Chris Frank trains with, it shows, right? So when you have Steve Joachim in his corner, Andre Petrosky, Jonathan Webb, Deanna Bennett, who just fought for Bellator titles in that gym. Just the top level of training there. And it's showing.
Absolutely, absolutely. We already know he's got good cardio. He's fully smothering.
And again,
possibly look at the shoulder there.
For that arm, maybe.
Kyle doing a great job of keeping his hips high.
Wearing that long sleeve rash guard does lend itself to potentially that weak side armbar, like we were saying, Catherine.
For sure, yeah. And you know, he's on the correct side to do it. You wonder if he's had some looks at it or thought about it at all.
But then again, he does have another several minutes in this position if he so chooses. So yeah. no rush to give up a back position to go for an armbar this deep into a match.
I just know when we do overtime rounds, my arms are shot. So as the offensive person, I don't know how strong is Chris Frank's arms now.
Well, Kat, you don't have forearms like that. If you did, I think you could choke all day.
You're right. I need to take some more of
whatever he's on.
I need to do. It's probably in the water.
That New Jersey water.
It just hits differently when it comes from another state. Great back control continued from Chris Frank.
Every time I think Hannigan's gonna potentially start to weasel his way out, there he goes. And he's on his own single.
Very nice.
It's a tough one though, as Frank looks to stand back up.
Oh, and he steps out and he's
then
right
back
to the back as Chris Frank.
I was just about to say we should call him the backpack.
Oh, possibly an arm triangle. Switching it up, unable to get the triangle into the arm though. He's got it.
He's got that.
Nice crucifix position. This is a switch up here.
All right, this is the first time we've seen crucifix, and it looks like he's starting to lock it in. So we may be in this crucifix for some time.
And what makes sense here? A choke? What makes sense here? A choke?
Keeping that on.
Yeah, a choke would have made sense in the moment, but he did arm slip pretty well there.
You got to think someone needs
Jack of all defense trades. It's crazy.
It just feels like Frank's arms are so strong that maybe working to a Kimura, there may be a strength advantage that he could start to leverage.
I like the idea of the back triangle, but he's having such a hard time keeping. I mean, they have to be so sweaty at this point. It's so hard to stay sticky. We can hear Chris Frank's corner saying beautiful, but that has been beautiful the entire time.
That body triangle is not nearly as locked in as it usually is, and again, back to that twister hook just to sort of control the position.
For sure. Kyle again looking to peel the arm across the neck. Hand fighting, doing a great job of hand fighting. Got to give it to both guys. This is a long match to be defending and a long match to be chaining submissions together and not quite finishing.
And it
them.
has been non-stop submission
close.
attempts
Oh my goodness.
and defense. So there really hasn't been a break in action the whole time.
He
It's
is
just getting
bringing the
tight. He's
heat.
really twisting the neck here. 20-some minutes
Is it
on.
it? Are we getting it?
This looks hard.
Into this. That's
Tap. Very nice.
What a
Overtime
performance
tap.
out of Kris Frank.
Kris Frank gets it done in overtime. Rear naked choke.
Good show from both guys.
And
that
on
was
the
great.
38th rear naked choke attempt, Kris Frank gets
He
it done.
finally got it on the 38th. He finally found the moment. That was a good match.
Excellent match out of both competitors. Really great performance out of Kyle.
Great match, you guys. Winner in overtime out of the red corner, Kris Frank. We got to stop meeting like this, my friend. This is our second time. Congratulations. How you feeling,
I
dude?
feel great, man. A little worn out from this dude, but he's tough, dog. He's a real tough opponent.
I think between this match and your last match with Frank Wells, you have like over an hour and a half or whatever in here. What's up with that, man? You like going a long time?
Hell no. It is 100% my fault. I got to get in. I got to start finishing people, man. But, I mean, honestly, I'm looking for more positional. I'm not going to give up a sub and end up in a bad position. But in this rule set, I actually can do that a little bit more. And I need to start just bringing in the entertainment if it's not entertaining enough.
And, you know, you train out of Webb MMA. Steve Joachim's in your corner. He's on later tonight. Just tell me a little bit about that gym and the energy you guys have, because it's extremely impressive to watch in here.
Absolutely. It's the best group of guys and girls that you can get. We all try to motivate each other, push each other to be the best. There's a bunch of dogs from there. Man, absolute dogs like Steve and Sean right here, Connor, the rest of them. We're putting on shows, man. Just keep hitting us up. Webb, fitness, and MMA, we love it.
They got that dog in them.
Congratulations, Kris Frank. Thank you, brother. Thank you to everybody. Jonathan Webb, Alex Webb, Milana Quinton. There's a whole list of people, but I love you all. Thank you.